Hey folks, welcome to the channel. Today we are going to make an amazing project in JavaScript, HTML and CSS, and that project is gonna be expanding cards. As you can see on the screen, we have listed all the world wonders, and as I click on each of the card, they expand and shows which wonder I'm looking at right now. This is an amazing project which we are going to do with vanilla JavaScript, HTML and CSS. So stay with me and we'll be building this amazing, beautiful project. So let's get started. So to begin with, what we'll do is we'll create a folder called expanding cards, and inside that I've created an HTML index file in which I do not have anything at this moment. It just contains a boilerplate code, and I'm going to change the name to our project name. That would be expanding cards. Save that. You can see the titles changing there, and I'm going to add the reference to the CSS style sheet and our index.js file. So let's do that. I'm going to add the reference to the index.js file at the very bottom. Let's go ahead and quickly make these two files under the folder. I want to make sure it is inside. Okay, so let's go ahead and add some HTML to our HTML file. The first thing we're going to do is we want to create a div with a class called container. Inside this, we will again create a div with class uh, panel and actor. Let me collapse this one so we can see this. And I'm going to add a style to it. In the style, we are going to set the background image property. So for this, we will require a couple of images of world wonders. You can go to my GitHub repository and you can grab those pictures from there. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to do the same thing right now. I'll be grabbing all those and I'll be just going and pasting them into my project folder. So now you can see I have them. Let's go ahead and put them into the URL part. So the first card we are going to make would be for pyramids. So let's call it pyramids.jpg, just there. And we'll be using a h3 header tag to name the world wonder. So that wonder is pyramids. So I'm going to call it that. And similarly, I will be pasting 5 more. So those 5 are Taj Mahal, Machu Picchu, Christ the Redeemer, Petra, and Colosseum. So as I save this one, you should be seeing those pictures here with the content, right? And now what we're going to do is like we will be going to the CSS and we'll be working on CSS to make sure that it looks exactly like I showed you into the demo. Now let's head over to our style.css file and we'll be adding the styles one by one. So let's go ahead and start typing. So the very first thing I want to do is I want to add some style to the body. So I'm setting the font family to sans serif and I'm making sure the display is flex so that we are using the space optimally, and I've set the flex direction to be the column, and I'm aligning the items and the content in the center. I'm using the whole 100% of available view height, and I'm making sure that there is no overflow, and the margin I have set to 0 from all the sides. That is like left, right, top, bottom. Next I'm going to do is I'm going to set the style for container class. I'm going to set the display to flex, and the width I'm going to use would be 90. So now this is looking better comparatively. So let's go ahead and style the panel class. So the panel class is an individual class which applies to each div. So we will be putting some styles on that one so that the panel actually looks elongated in the height, and it has background properties and the color, and when we take our mouse, it changes to the pointer and all those stuff. So let's go ahead and build that. So now I have set the properties to the panel. So the CSS styles which I'm setting is that I'm setting the background size, position, and the repeat. Also, I'm making sure the height is only the 80% of the available view height, and I'm setting the border radius to 50 pixels so that we are getting those nice curvier edges. Also, I'm setting the cursor, the flex position, and the transition when the panels are selected. So let's go ahead and set the value for this h3 tag so that instead of showing this on the top, we'll be showing this at the bottom in a bigger size. So now probably you can see that they all are like equally aligned, and they do have some font size which is not visible right now, but the moment I'm gonna set some more properties, you'll be seeing the changes. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's add a media query as well so that when the maximum width is changing, we will be changing the display type of the panels as well. So let's do that. So I'll be adding a media query. That's it for the styling as long as we are concerned. Now let's jump back to the index.js and let's add the logic where if we click, there happens a smooth transition and we are able to expand the card on which we are clicking. So let's jump back to our index.js. In this, we'll be writing just probably 15 lines of code. So it will be easier. Let's go ahead. So first we are gonna do is we want to get all the panels, that is these 6 panels which we have. So we'll be grabbing them by using document.query selector all. And remember they have a class called panel, so we'll be using that. Once we have grabbed all the panels, we'll be calling for each on them. And in that, for each panel, we will be attaching an event listener, which will be for click. And whenever a click happens, all I want to do is I want to remove active class, and then I want to add the active class to the panel which was clicked. So let's go ahead and add the active class to the list of classes. And since we are calling this function, we'll go ahead and define this function. Oops. Yeah. So this function is going to do nothing. It will be just iterating through all the panels by using for each. So again, we'll be doing for each panel, I want to take that panel, take the class list, and just remove the active class from it. And that's it. And now you can see this works perfectly. So let's go ahead and see if we expand this window browser to the maximum. Is our code working fine or not? So you can see this was a fun project to work, and I would say go ahead and create your own 4-season expanding cards, or create another display where you are showing dining room, you're showing the living room, kitchen, and all those things, and tag me or let me know how fun it was. I really had fun doing this video. If you really like this video, just go ahead and like this video and share and subscribe for more awesome content.